A question I get quite often is how to sharpen pinking shears, at least the proper method. The way that I teach people how to sharpen a pinking shear is actually quite simple. Let's start off. We're going to go ahead and set the clamp first. Most of the time you'll find that most of the pinking shears are anywhere from 0 to 5 degrees, and sometimes they're actually even negative, and we'll deal with negative in just a second. We'll set the wolf clamp on a twice as sharp down to 0 to start, and then what we'll do is we'll do a scratch test. Now, on the shear, the best thing to do, because when you have a pinking shear, you need to, if you look at the face of the teeth, which is where you're going to sharpen, you don't sharpen in between the teeth, like with a file or something like that, because the teeth have to make good connection as the shear closes. You don't want to disturb that by sharpening the insides of the teeth. You want to sharpen the outer flat surface of the teeth. When you sharpen these shears, you need to sharpen to the top of every mountain and the bottom of every valley. You look at it like a little range of mountains. The best way to make sure that you do that is to paint the teeth of the shear. So we'll just take a black magic marker and we'll paint right over the surface of the teeth. Once you've painted your teeth, all you have to do now is make sure that you sharpen the black away, all the way to the top of the mountains, all the way to the bottom of the valley. Now, before we even do a scratch test, let's take a look at one thing, and hopefully we can see it clearly in the video. You have to make sure that there is a lap line on the shear. This blade might be a little bit easier to see it with. You can see there's two different colored metals. There's a shiny metal towards the bottom. There's a darker metal up towards the top. This means that this shear has a good lap line. If you don't have a lap line, if it's just shiny all the way up to the top and you don't have that grayish metal on the top, the shear will not cut, and will not cut well at all, no matter what you do. So, we'll go ahead and clamp this in, and what we're going to do is a scratch test on the machine. So we're just going to set the blade up against the wheel, and then push downward, following the rotation of the wheel, which would be downward when the machine is turned on, and do a scratch test on the surface of the shear. Now you can see on this particular shear we have a negative angle. Let's see if we can get that in the light a little bit better for you. There we go. You can see that scratch test. It doesn't go all the way down to the tips. Now, on the wolf clamp, on some you can go a little bit negative. So we'll go just a little beyond 0, and we'll do another scratch test and see where we're at. And you can see that now we have a good scratch test pretty much all the way down to the tip. Now, if you actually had a shear that was more negative than you can actually do on the wolf clamp, then what you can do is you can just loosen the clamp slightly so that it's not holding the shear all the way tight. I'm going to over-exaggerate this just a little bit, but you can see instead of it being flat up against the inside surface, now I can torque the shear. You look at this blade as it goes down. I can torque that shear slightly and hold it in the clamp, just holding it in position and kind of pulling up on this blade and holding here. And what that's doing is, even though the shear is loose in the clamp, I'm torquing it so that the clamp will hold it, and that's going to make it go even more negative. And that's another way that you can sharpen a more negative angle on this clamp. So we'll go ahead and clamp this in, make a start, pass across the wheel, and I'll just do 3 passes and see where we're at. Now, let's take a look. You can see that I have sharpened to the tops of the teeth on the last 3 teeth here on the pinker. But starting from about the third or fourth tooth back from the actual end of the blade, I've got a little bit of black magic marker that's still wanting to show, and then when I get further back, you can see that it just gets worse as I go on down. What I have to do now is I have to make sure that I sharpen all the way to the top of the mountain. I am at the bottom of the valleys right now. So, again, back over to the wheel. And we're going to continue. Until we've sharpened all that black away. Alright, and now if we look at our teeth, we can see that we have a good clean cut all the way through. Now what I do is I would repeat the same process with the second blade. I'm going to match the angle side to side. And again, I'll paint the teeth. And then sharpen this blade up. You note that as I come across to the tip and come away, and I'm only going in one direction. And I'll do that until I have a clean cut across the face of the teeth. Once I've achieved that new edge, I will spread the blades apart so that they don't touch. Pinch them together to open, to pull those burrs back just like I would any other shear. Alright, now that I've sharpened both of the blades, I'm going to go ahead and do a test cut. Now I've only sharpened it on the white grinding wheel, and that's usually enough for a pinking shear because it's a fairly rough cut. We'll go ahead and do our test. And this actually cuts cleanly and all the way to the tip. So this shear is fine. If it didn't cut cleanly and all the way to the tip, the next thing that you would want to do is switch over to the honing wheel on the right hand side of the machine, hone one blade, and then test again. That will usually do it for you. Now if you run into other trouble with these, you have any issues, just give us a ring here at Wolf. The number is 1-800-888-3832. Again, it's 1-800-888-3832, and we are always happy to help. Hope that this was valuable to you, and again, like I said, if you have any questions, just give us a ring.